one of the key issues that leaders in Africa are dealing with. It's becoming a continental, really a global issue. Today in the news, the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, declared a war against open defecation. We know that Ghana is one of the top 10 countries worldwide when it comes to open defecation. And so it's a challenge that we must begin to deal with frontally. There's a team in Kumasi called Clean Team Ghana, which is taking on this challenge with innovation, design, and something we are not so familiar with. Kelvin Hughes is CEO of this team, and he joins us to explain. Hi, Kelvin.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good, thank you.
First of all, generally about open defecation, it's pretty embarrassing, isn't it, to find a country like Ghana ranking the way it does. What are your views?
I think it's a complex issue, right? In Ghana, we have almost 20% of people practicing open defecation. But the question we need to be asking ourselves is, why are people practicing open defecation? Sometimes it's historical practice, but sometimes there's a real issue that they have no other option. And that's when we have to bring solutions and not just accuse people of poor practices.
Okay, so these are some of the solutions that you have developed, and we'll be going into that product specifically. But tell us a bit about your company, Clean Team Ghana.
So we are a social enterprise, which means that we want to have a sustainable business, but at the same time have real social impact. And what we do is we bring waterless toilets to low-income households, and our model is that we give or loan a toilet, a simple plastic toilet to people, and then we charge a service fee month on month, which is a saving versus the public toilets, to allow people to have the comfort and convenience and the dignity of a toilet in their own home.
A waterless toilet?
Yes.
A waterless toilet?
Absolutely.
I wanted to make sure I heard it well. How does it work?
So how it works is that we have a sealable cartridge in the toilets, and when you go to the toilet, instead of flushing with water, you use sawdust. And what the sawdust does is it dries the waste, and which means it reduces the smell, protects against infestation, and also the toilet is waterproof. So once you close the toilet, you can have your bath around it, water can fall on it, and it locks everything else in. And the sawdust acts as a barrier, keeping people away from the waste.
What are we watching now? Tell us about.
So these are our waste processors. So we have a facility on the KMA waste sewage works in Dompoase, and these are the guys that have cleaned these cartridges. There's the cartridges that are saying are inside the toilet, and here's them putting the sawdust. So we make sure that every home has the appropriate amount of sawdust, and then here's us putting that sawdust in.
Okay. So those are the cartridges that the waste go into.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I can see there. Oh, fine. So now that we have this product, you can just remove the top, take out the cartridge from inside and replace it.
Absolutely. So replacing the cartridge, we have a group of waste collectors that go and collect the waste. So they'll put a lid on the cartridge and take it out and replace it with a fresh one, and it takes less than 10 seconds. Here's Jerry going into a household, and these are the tuk-tuks, the Boboya that we use to go and collect them.
Where is this?
This is in Tafo.
Tafo in Kumasi?
Yeah, in Kumasi.
Is it only in Tafo in Kumasi that you have these?
No, we're in 6 different areas in Kumasi, all based around the Tafo area. So Ashtown, Foyokrom, Swami, all in that sort of area near the market that we service, and we're looking to expand that over the coming years.
Okay. How many, it seems like you have quite a number of cartridges in there. How many households do you service with this product?
So at the moment we have just over 2,600 households.
2,600?
Yeah, so we have about 13,000 people using our toilets on a regular basis.
That's great. Since you started using it, I'm sure that you've had some challenges, especially with the attitude and what have you. Tell us a bit about that.
So there's definitely some challenges. So in 2017 we introduced mobile money, and Ghana has not been as quick on the uptake of mobile money than some other countries. So there's a lot of education around that, and getting people to understand how that could be used and how it can be beneficial for them. For example, sometimes the customers we have are low income, and giving them the opportunity to pay maybe weekly instead of monthly is great for them. But with mobile money, it helps facilitate that. But also, like I was saying before, explaining to customers about the dangers of open defecation and giving them the options to do different things has been a challenge, or something that, especially working in conjunction with KMA, we've been able to move through.
Great. For the listener watching who may be thinking, just sawdust, how hygienic is it? What would you say?
I would say that definitely the sawdust is hygienic. So 2 things. First, within the KMA bylaws, they've come and assessed us and seen what we do, and they've now put it in our bylaws that what we do is approved sanitation. And secondly, the World Health Organization has a joint monitoring program based around water supply and sanitation, and they've also said that container-based sanitation, which is what we do, is approved sanitation for use. But I think our customers are probably the best voters. 2,600 people paying month on month. They wouldn't do it if it wasn't hygienic and if they weren't happy with the service.
So they are voting with their pockets,
Absolutely.
basically. Any plan to expand beyond Kumasi?
Well, we kept getting asked that question, especially here in Accra. So in the coming sort of 12 months, I don't think we want to consolidate and grow in Kumasi, but clearly there is huge demand in various cities in Accra and Tamale, Takoradi. And if we don't expand, we aren't going to be having the social impact we want. So in the years to come, we'll absolutely be looking to expand, not just in Ghana, but also beyond, because we're getting the similar questions. Like you mentioned in Nigeria, we've had a couple of questions about Nigeria just in the last 6 months.
Yeah, because it was reported today President Buhari launched this Clean Nigeria campaign.
Absolutely.
So maybe there can be a clean team Nigeria.
Well, we expect there will be.
Speaking of governments, what kind of support would you need? Not just for your company, but for social enterprises like yours?
I think that the understanding of what the problems are, the government are really closely related to that, right? They are out in the communities for sanitation, there's environmental health officers. So understanding, getting access to that data is really important for us. It helps us, go and deal with the actual problem rather than just going to sell. So that's really important. And then also the collaboration is key. A lot of the problems that, we were talking about before on air, off air rather, are huge complex problems and we can't solve them on our own and the government can't solve them on their own. So how can you have meaningful collaboration to actually make that better and improved? And I think that just, we work very closely with the assemblies in Kumasi and also in KMA, we're on their land, and having that close relationship has allowed us to do interesting things. World Toilet Day on Tuesday, for example, we did a big program together and we were able to communicate with people we might not otherwise have been able to communicate with.
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for joining us. Kelvin Hughes is Chief Executive Officer for Clean Team Ghana.